Hey folks, and welcome to Super Grand Champ coverage of the September Sir Walter Gun Club match. My name is Steve Anderson. I will be your host, Super Granderson. We're going to see a lot of stuff. We're going to see a master in short shorts. We're going to see a Russian clapping violently. We're going to hear a man spouting nonsense, but that man will not be me. I will be spouting coverage and criticism. I am Steve Anderson. I am your host. So the first thing we're going to see is Travis BEAL. He's going to do almost everything right. Let's have a look at him starting very shortly. Here we go. It's going to be the paper first. Here he comes. Followed by the steel. Come up nice and high. Shooting very early. His reloads are lower and slower than I would like. You'll see that on multiple times. He's doing a good job creeping because you don't need to be moving quickly to get the benefit of not stopping.
What I'm focusing on most right now is just making sure that I'm shooting fast on the move and still getting good alphas. Recent matches I'm slowing down and shooting the move. I just got to pick up that pace. Just keep shooting move, shoot fast, and call every shot.
All right, so once again, watch his gun. See how low it goes. Watch. Down, up. Not even a super great reload. The end run's okay. He shoots nice and early. He did a pretty good job calling his shots on steel. I think he missed his first steel and had to make it up, but he did do a pretty good job after that. Let's watch him two more times. Here he comes. Paper first. Going to get that out of the way. He crept a little bit on the steel. There we go. Here he comes in, but watch his gun. He had a makeup over here. He didn't like something. See how low it is? And slow. Watch it drop. Down, back up. That cost him a lot of time. Something you got to work on in dry fire. You got to keep that gun up as close to the firing position anytime it's not being shot. Let's go ahead and watch him in slow motion. Here he comes. Watch the gun. There's some makeup in there. He had really good points on this stage. That helped him quite a bit. Watch the gun low. Back up, that needs some work. And finally around the corner. Now let's see how he compares to the next guy, Nate Perry. Perry shot the steel on the move, so you're going to see him first. Here he comes. He's able to maintain that lead through here a couple of times. Pretty good. Watch, pulls ahead. Pulls ahead. He did shoot 2 deltas, which hurt him quite a bit. Only 13 hundredths of a second separated these two guys. And I think I know where it is. Let's watch him again. So once again, Perry has got the steel on the move. You're going to see him first. Perry had some slight hesitation on his first steel target. We'll come back to that in a minute. Perry's reload is also lower than it needs to be. It's a little bit smoother, but it's still pretty low. Travis pulls ahead here slightly at the end. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Mr. Perry by himself. He does shoot the steel on the move, which I thought was excellent. It's probably the highlight of his run. You're going to get a good look at it right here.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Paper first. And then moving on that steel. Good job, buddy.
Well, specific attention, probably all the movement stuff. I mean, a lot of times when I watch somebody who's better than me on the movement, I won't recognize the differences between me and him. Whereas like the gun handling stuff, it's kind of readily apparent to me. But there's a pretty good chance that Steve's going to crush me on this whole thing just because I've been pretty vocal about some of his podcast antics. So I do believe he'll give me my full value today as far as ways to improve.
Don't worry, buddy. We don't take things personally. Thanks for the help with the t-shirt sales. I do notice that you're not creeping at all through there. You're standing still like a good old-fashioned A-class production shooter is supposed to. You did drop a couple of deltas. There's a lot of hardcover on this stage, so those deltas aren't too surprising. But the highlights, once again, shoot the steel on the move is excellent. Got you a good lead ahead. Travis got you. You were ahead most of the time. He got you at the end, but you had some hesitation onto your first steel target. That's where most of that 13 hundredths of a second came from. Of course, your deltas didn't help much there either, did they? Let's look at your highlights. Look at that. Boom. On the move. Very, very good. Nice end run around the corner. BEAL barely got you on that one. All right, this is going to be Mr. Perry versus Mr. Jones. We see Perry coming in front because we see the once again the steal on the move. Perry stays ahead. Now watch Jones, a very unfortunate detour. Watch him. Oh, he's all the way out there and back, giving Perry an easy run to the end. Let's watch that again. So also Mr. Jones shot the steal first because he's afraid of it, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Here they come. Perry pulls ahead. Mr. Jones makes a very unfortunate detour. Both of those reloads are taking longer than they need to, guys. You got to get those things tuned up. Now let's watch Mr. Jones by himself. So steal first, I believe out of fear. He didn't want to leave on it. See, he's stuck in that first spot that whole time. He also loaded before he even started moving. You can do those things at the same time, I think. Here comes the big detour that hurt him quite a bit. Probably from a lack of visualization, that would be my guess. He wasn't exactly sure where he needed to be. I also think he could be running a little bit more aggressively there. Just my opinion. I'd like to see that gun out a little bit further.
Hey Steve, I'm Mike. I'm working on trying to get faster in movement to flow better, to have a better burst of speed after reloads and not lose time during the reloads.
Well, you lost a whole lot of time during this reload, that's for sure. See, I'm not sure. That may just be your normal movement during a reload, but you lost a lot of time there. Plus, we got to get that gun out there a little bit more aggressively. You're holding that gun like a baby. I'd like to see that thing way out in front, ready to shoot that next target. Here's Mr. Jones's highlights. Shooting early there, that's pretty good. Another low, slow reload. Decent creep, there's the big detour. Guys, you got to get the gun to the next target. That's the most important thing. Get the gun to the target. It can't shoot until it gets to the target. There's the big detour. See how far that gun is from the target? It's nowhere near where it needs to be. Watch it drop, watch it drop. His body's out of sorts. Finally, we're shooting again. See how he compares with DENIS? Pretty neck and neck right through there. DENIS is creeping a little bit. He's not quite so static. There he is creeping and around the corner. DENIS has no problem coming in front. Now, DENIS was a little faster, but his points were much, much worse. So that's the reason why Jones pulled ahead. DENIS was actually a second faster, but he had a lot more points down. See here, they're neck and neck. DENIS is creeping a little bit. He's back on target sooner. DENIS chooses to reload at the end here, which slowed him down a little bit, in my opinion. And here's the nonsense.
Rush, Iron Maiden, Megadeth, superior to that.
Hey, fix that.
Well, you can't fix stupid. Here's DENIS loading and making ready. You know, DENIS is down 14 points, which is what hurt him, even though he was a second faster. Paper first. Leaving on steel because he's not afraid of it.
I think I'm too slow on entering and exiting while I still on the move. I'm like over confirming my side picture. I want to be more aggressive. I just cannot allow myself to be more aggressive. That's what I need.
But we could do a whole show on that last mental statement. You just can't talk to yourself like that. We got to find a better way to talk to ourselves than that. Cannot allow myself to be more aggressive. We got to fix that. We're going to fix that in training. Shooting good on the way in. Looking good there. Good transition across there. And there's the reload at the end. Slowed him down quite a bit. Not very aggressive at the end there either. Could have done a better job on that, I think, for sure. Let's look at his highlights. See, He had to watch that steel fall because he didn't call the shot. See? Slowed him down quite a bit. Let's see how he compares with the next guy. The next guy is George. He's well ahead of George. George also shot the steel first, I believe out of fear. They don't want to leave on it, so they shoot it first and they leave on the paper. There's the blown reload from George. We'll be talking about that quite a bit. Gives Dennis the easy victory around the corner. That's pretty good technique from George there at the end. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, training goals today is trying to piece together what I learned the past week, shooting with Super Grand and Nate here. Man, one thing I really got to get more detailed walkthroughs because of the FTSA that I had earlier. Was it FTSA, FT, whatever? Yeah, I'm just trying to apply what I learned. Besides stage plan, I'm always up for like a stage plan like review. My shooting on the move and pretty much like places where I could chop off some extra time. That'll be awesome. Right now I'm going to be shooting to whatever level I have. Not going to be pushing, so I think anything that comes out is going to be absolutely worth, scrutinizing.
Well, the first thing that comes out is you need a lot more dry fire. Your basic technique is pretty good. That blown reload hurts you a bunch. You're a B-class shooter, so you've got a lot of work to do. We can get you out of there pretty quickly. And missed a shot on that. We didn't call that shot. We had to watch it fall. Finish up on paper. Shooting on the weigh-in's pretty good. Some hesitation there. There's that blown reload. You're also bringing yourself up to full body height every time you stop. There it is, see? Full body height. You could be shooting sooner than that. Once again, full body height before we shoot. It's these little things that are adding up to cost you guys the time. Let's watch that one again. So steel first. Didn't call that last shot. Finish up on paper. Takes an eternity to get down here. Finally, he's shooting. Probably a hoper on that swinger. There's the blown reload. Could be fixed in dry fire and or mental conditioning. Another low reload. Watch how low the gun goes before it finally comes back up. Pretty good technique around the corner. Takes him forever to shoot, though. He really didn't know what he was coming in on. So now we got to watch his bloopers, unfortunately. We got to see this over and over again. There's the hoper / hesitation. Oh! There's the blown reload. Hurts quite a bit. One more time on the blooper reel. He probably didn't have those targets burned in very well. Looks like he's hunting around for something to shoot. Boom. Big hesitation there. Massively blown reload. We got to fix that. That's easily fixed in dry fire, though. Once again, poor guy. I screwed up at the match, and all Super Grand Champ gave me was a blooper reel. Man, we can fix it, buddy. Don't worry about it. Oh, heartless. All right, folks, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the match coverage. We'll be doing it again soon.
Rush, Iron Maiden, Megadeth. Superior to Van Halen.
Fix that.
So much nonsense. Have a great day, guys.